think this is the problem, is there's not enough information at this point to make a definite decision. But it seems to kind of be driving us into trying to make a definite decision. Haramont, okay, if we think about this, going back to, okay, I mean, I'm starting to think about the origins. We can't trust Bhelen because he's untrustworthy. That's what we see there. Haramont's this kind of guy, but of course, Haramont knew Bhelen was behind it in some way, and I think I understand as a human noble what it's like to have your throne, not your throne, but your title usurped, because I think, isn't How now claiming to be Turn of High ever? I mean, that's why he attacked, and he betrayed us, and he betrayed my family, and Loghain has tried to usurp Kaelin's throne and now kind of Alistair's throne. So I think we'll end up siding with Bhelen because of that. So I'll do what I need.
Excellent. I have the promissory notes right here. Just take them to Lady Dace and Lord Helmy, and show them Haramont is not as honest as he claims. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Okay, so we've actually got them now. We will go to the Shaper and see what happens. Oh, and he's gone. Now that I've made a decision which way to go, I'm guessing that fellow's decided to wander off. Let's try going in here, see if we can find out anything. Now, we were warned that because the Shaper's a relative of Haramont, that he might side with him. So we'll see what he says.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories?
Could you look at these papers for me?
These are Haramont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these?
Vartag Gavorn gave them to me. I don't want to have a lot of problems, so in Lord Haramont's personal library. So we lie to him and say, oh yeah, no, because we've not been allowed in, so that's not important.
Whom are you protecting? It is a crime against the Shaperate to falsify legal documents.
Oh dear. So you're saying they're forged?
Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. Okay, so show me. Okay, so can I see the actual details of these? No. Okay, so is it true you're related to Haramont? He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I am related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sigmund, which lost its tide to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago.
Oh, does that mean you get to vote on the next king?
The Shaperate do not vote. We simply record history as it happens.
Do you have a preference for king?
I cannot speak my opinions. History can be changed with a careless word.
I may have to have words with someone.
You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
Oh yeah, they're fake. Oh yeah, I'm related to Haramont. Yeah, we don't want to disrupt the stability of Orzammar. Yeah, and no, I'm not going to tell you what the actual details of these deals were. I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice if you could actually, if he had actually like say what the details were. I mean, you just come up with something rather than.
Raise your voice in favor of Lord Bhelen. he will bring us change and prosperity.
And, okay, it's a classic cry of politicians, but Balin's calling for change, Harrimon's calling for stability.
Legion of the Dead are near Orzammar. They have no orders while throne stands empty. Make Harrowmont your king now.
And that's just... Yeah, if we don't do it now, we'll be in huge trouble. No. I'm actually gonna act on this. I'm gonna act on these. I'm gonna side with Bhelen. I think last time I played, I think I sided with Harrowmont, and I don't think there's and I'm not sure if there is a huge difference to it. I don't know. It'd be good to see if there's as much of a difference. I can't remember the ending to this saga. So, but I think we're going to side with Bhelen because, as I said, you know, he's in Gaheris' mind, he's the descendant. In human terms, he's the legal heir because there's no other Aidukan around. Obviously, this fellow kind of made up what happened with Bhelen. I mean, this is in character. Like, as players, that's what we know. That's what happened. But in character, he's like, I'm not sure I trust this guy, and the vague, oh yes, it's definitely forged from the Shaper. It's like, I think we're going to side with Bhelen.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about.
Yes, I am Gaheris.
It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them.
I assume you're Lady Dace.
I am. And what business would you have with me?
I don't want to say, oh yes, you're definitely, oh, Harrowmont's definitely trying to cheat you. I'm just like, you might want to look at these papers.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
So she thinks they're right, and that they're accurate. So, you'd think that speaking to the people who came up with these, who did these deals, would know what the terms were. So, okay. Where is he? I'll bring these to him.
He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient tide. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
How would I know where to find him?
He was searching an old Aidukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned.
Oh, we're going back
I'll
there.
give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
I will leave right now.
So Bhelen's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
Well, I think we should tell your father about these papers. She seemed to think they were accurate enough, and... I don't know. I mean, it could be that... Lady Elmy.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Indeed.
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Ignore what?
Branka didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you.
Poor Ogren.
So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teach? Ha!
If you lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
Poor Ogren. Loilena.
Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even wore your caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled.
Who's Ogren?
Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it.
I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino.
And who's Bronca?
The only paragon in the last 4 generations. Quite an honor for a girl from the Smith caste.
Okay. How did she become a paragon?
She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Bronca, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name.
So they were married.
Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation.
Okay. Do you know where she went to the Deep Roads?
Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked to found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her.
Okay, thank you.
If you see any guardsmen, tell them Ogren was at it again.
Right, so, I'm always intrigued by what's up here. Is there anything up here? Ooh,
It shall be done.
okay. The key to the city. While your concerns have merit, the Assembly has made itself clear. Space within the Tig is at a premium, but the intended function of the Hall merits the additional resources committed. The statues of the Paragon must be the core of the Hall of Heroes. Oh, this is what we've already read. It is agreed that no rules of procedure were explicitly broken, but a 5-day filibuster is nonetheless worthy of censure. Division of House Goddessmote property was deliberated for a full session, and forfeiture of the southern estate deemed a necessity. Since the birth of young Cade necessitates his elevation to noble status, and it is unthinkable for a noble's family to live in the slums, it is the responsibility of the father to accommodate the placement of his family. It is not possible to simply generate new space in the Diamond Quarter without compromising Tig structural integrity. Lord Dace's comment that if Lord Goddessmote didn't want a new heir, he shouldn't have slummed for a concubine, was indeed inappropriate, but the proper procedure for resolution through proving was followed. Both parties agreed to accept this retraction, and that matter is considered separate and closed. The decision of the Assembly regarding the placement of the Duncoat clan stands. Okie dokie. Right, so, we've got to go to Tapsis to talk to Lord Helmy. And we need to go and find Lord Dace, of course. Oh, Dagna.
You look like you're not from around here.
How can you tell?
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
Oh, my companion here was one of the two, a senior enchanter of the Circle.
Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation and a great responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility. A great fan. So why are you interested in the Circle?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caplin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
So what do you want with the Circle?
I want to go to the Circle to study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
Oh, I could bring your request to the circle.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Everyone's weird. You could let's talk to people as we go around.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you, and I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Are you alright?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Well, maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad thing. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work I've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself.
Thanks. I will. Let's not push this issue. Right. Old mirror. No. Well, we could still get these, I suppose. Don't know who they're for, though. I think Morrigan likes shiny things, doesn't she? Anything I've got to sell? No, I don't think so. Oh, we should give that to Sten, the portrait.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
Are they dangerous?
Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say.
Oh, if I see any nugs, I'll send them your way.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
And a lost nug. Let's see if there's any back here. I saw the word slums thug, so we should probably have a look in there. Ooh, some things we haven't written on yet.